Good evening, everybody. It's Storm here, bringing another gaming news roundup. I didn't do one for last week because not a lot of news happened, so this week I'm going to combine this week and last week. A lot of stuff happened, so without further ado, let's get on with it. Our first set of news we have is the God of War Ragnarok New Game Plus came out last week. That gave us a whole bunch of new stuff for God of War Ragnarok, which I'll be posting the images right now. As you can see, the update gave Kratos new sets of armor. Armor's based off the Black Bear, Ares, Zeus, his Spartan heritage. He got a Spartan-based shield. And also, with that, they also included in that training area, and I forgot what is the name of that realm that you could switch out companions. So you could have Atreus, Angerboda, Freyda, Brock, Sindri, Ingrid, Thor, and Third. So it'd be cool, like you're in that training, testing out your combos, and you can have Kratos with Thor just going nuts in the training room. So that's pretty cool. You can also have that black fur coat that Kratos had at the beginning of the game, but he ended up losing it when Freya ended up attacking them. And also they said the endgame bosses are a lot more tougher now. So the Berserker Souls and the Valkyrie Queen Ghana, yeah, you're gonna have a lot more tougher time against them than you did originally. Okay, our next set of news is that Media Molecule is ending support for Dreams and is going to be working on a new project. Media Molecule asked a question: is studio work on Dream 2? Media Molecule said they're working on a new project, but they also clarified it's not Dream 2 and have nothing to do with Dream whatsoever, and they're not ready to talk about it. But they did say they are discontinuing live support for Dreams after September 1st, 2023. They're shifting focus to a exciting new project, and they will talk about that project soon. So I'm assuming we'll probably hear about it whenever PlayStation decides to do their next big showcase. So I saw a lot of people were happy about it because when it comes to Media Molecule, they seem like that studio that could do a whole lot more, but they do like the bare minimum. Granted, I haven't really played any other games in the past because they originally did that Little Big Planet. So I think people want them to actually make a game instead of making a game that you build. Basically, you build the game, if that makes sense. Instead of them making a game, basically they're making you make your own adventure, which some people don't really like that. They rather them make a proper game. But when the time comes, we'll see what they got up their sleeves. Alright, our next set of news that we have is previews for Star Wars Jedi Survivor came out. Some gameplay have been shown, and they actually showed off a couple of the new customization that we'll be able to do with I forgot his name in the game. Cal Keston. There we go. Almost forgot his name there. So yeah, they showed off some new images of how the customization is gonna be. As you can see, we could customize Cal's facial hair and outfit along with his lightsaber. I'm just happy no longer wearing freaking ponchos that Fallen Order have for us to wear. But we have some other details from the previews that came out for Star Wars Jedi Survivor. There's tons of customization with lightsaber, hairstyle, clothing, etc. Exactly what I said. Jedi chamber room puzzles similar to Breath of the Wild shrines. Haven't played Breath of the Wild, so anybody who played it, they could probably see the resemblance. Many new mobility options, grapple mounts. We saw those. We saw that in the first trailer. Their side quests are confirmed. It's a semi-open world. at least 7 large planets in the game, 5 combat stances. Start the game with 3. It's most likely the 3 that we learned from the last game. New force abilities, which is cool. Map is greatly expanded, which is also cool. I am definitely looking forward for Jedi Survivor. Fallen Order was really fun, so I can't wait to see how this one turns out. And if I remember right, this takes place 3 to 5 years after Fallen Order, so yeah, can't wait to see what more they have for us. And also a small little thing about Jedi Survivor. Originally the file size for that game was 130 gigabytes. Now it went up to 155 gigabytes. So Respawn clearly added something else into it that gave it a more thing. So I'm curious what could it be. We just have to wait and see. Alright. Our next news that we have is Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League have officially gotten a delay news. As the statement reads, we have made the tough but necessary decision to take the time needed to work on getting the game to the best quality experience for players. Thank you for our amazing community for the continued support, patience, and understanding. There is much more to share in the months ahead. We look forward to seeing you in Metropolis next year. As you can see, Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League got delayed from May 26th of this year to February 2nd, 2024. Now, what did this mean? Besides what my friend Fire would say, a typical PR statement, like the rumor of Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League was bouncing around since like early March after PlayStation State of Play that showed it off. A journalist, Jason Schreier, has spoke on it and said that the game was delayed and stuff. But Rocksteady never came out and made an official statement that the game was delayed. And I still find it weird they waited until now when the game was supposed to come out next month to finally say something. But I digress. And the whole thing being delayed to next year. Funny enough, Jason Schreier things of course the bad reputation from that state of play didn't do it any justice. But he also believed is likely also was the culprit of Marvel Spider-Man releasing in the fall, which is people say in September, which I could probably see it if they were planning to release the game sometime in the fall. To our knowledge, the only games that are coming out around in the fall area right now that we know of is Marvel Spider-Man 2 and Starfield. So I'm guessing Rocksteady probably didn't think Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League could match those two games, or they probably don't believe whatever they're trying to fix or finish, they wasn't gonna get it done at that time. So your guess is as good as mine why this delay came to be. I'm not gonna lie, from the state of play and stuff, I'm not really looking for the game in general, but I'm guessing what they showed off from the gameplay just turned a whole lot of people off, especially we found out that there will be is a game as a service with microtransactions and stuff, and I think they actually did show that. And I'm not gonna lie, when they were showing off like the customization to the character and stuff, I literally got hit with with flashbacks of Marvel Avengers, the amount of hours I put into that game. And I'm afraid that's what Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League gonna turn out to be. Granted, I could be totally wrong in that instance, but it just all that after the first impression, because that was our first time seeing actual gameplay, it just like, yeah, now I even got more of a reason why I'm not getting this game. The original reason why I wasn't gonna get this game because I don't care for the Suicide Squad in general. Like it's not because of Captain Boomerang, Deadshot, Killer Croc, and Harley Quinn. I just never cared for the Suicide Squad in general. So the fact that there was a game that was focusing on them taking on the Justice League, I was like, yeah, I'm not feeling this. Other people's feelings for it is their own. I'm just saying what's mine. Right. With that out of the way, on to our next set of news. Apparently, funny enough, speaking of Marvel Spider-Man, there is some rumors pointing that it's going to release September 8th of this year. And one of the something did get shown online that possibly we're getting close to when we're gonna see marketing coming out for this game. And one of the instances was somebody took a picture of a billboard in Mexico that shows Marvel Spider-Man 2 with Miles and Peter looking down the alley in the trailer when we got our first look at Venom. The rumors are still dancing around. We're going to get the big showcase before Summer Games Fest, which is in June. So we just have to wait and see when that's going to happen. Because I think until Sony showed like their big showcase, that's when we'll finally see, like, to me, hopefully proper gameplay of Marvel Spider-Man 2. Not because I just want to see what's different, what would be different from the previous game, because Marvel Spider-Man PS4 came out on the PS4, and Miles Morales, even though there was a PS5 version, it was a cross-gen version and had its own female counterpart. So I'm hoping to see a big difference of seeing a Spider-Man game built from the ground up on the PS5 to see what's different. Because in some instances, the Miles Morales one did show off some big differences, like especially like the destruction that we could possibly get in the game. Like for instance, in Miles Morales when he was chasing Rhino, how he jumped and broke through that building and you could chase him through the building and stuff, and the whole thing when he was on his back in the mall. Like, I could see them I could see them adding that into Marvel Spider-Man 2, just more detailed, and probably let us explore inside in buildings when we're not wearing the suits and stuff. But that's just hopeful thinking on my part. Alright, our next one is EA have shown off revealed a trailer for their game Immortals what's the name of it? Immortals of Avium. I probably mispronounced that name, but yeah, they showed off a trailer of it. Here are some details that we got from the game. It is a single-player imaginative first-person shooter built on Unreal Engine 5. It is basically Call of Duty without guns. Spells can act as long-range rifles, shotguns, etc. 25-hour-long campaign, fantasy world with sci-fi elements. Combat is fast-paced, akin to Doom. 25 total spells, plenty of room for exploration, with some Metroidvania elements and puzzle solving, and it's helmed by Brett Robbins, former game director on Dead Space and COD. So I'm not gonna lie, when I saw the trailer, it did got me interested in it. Like, I wasn't really feeling the game when they first revealed it. I believe it was at Gamescom, but of course that was just an announcement trailer. It was very short. We didn't get that much details out of it. But after seeing the trailer, some gameplay stuff, I'm like, yeah, this have moved from not a nobody to a maybe. But granted, I will need to see more. I believe it's available to pre-order now on the PlayStation Store. So, yeah, I just gotta wait and see what else they will show, because I was impressed for what I seen so far. So we just gotta wait. Alright, our next set of news that I got in, it is a rumor of alleged gameplay of Persona 3 Remake as well as Jet Set Radio. The rumor was reported by Bluebird last year, stated that the new big budget Jet Set Radio title was in the works at Sega. So until we hear further confirmation, take all this with a grain of salt. Alright, nothing more to say on that. Our next set of news we have is, if you was on the fence with the game Wild Heart on PlayStation, there is a free trial through April 13th, and it's probably over by now. If you was waiting to try Wild Heart, there was a free trial that you could participate in to see if you like it. I'm just gonna speed through these rest of these little bit of news because most of these are just screenshots. Alright. Our next news we have was a new Sony patent would make a PlayStation controllers change temperature to reflect gameplay. Enter an icy world. Your PS5 DualSense controller gets colder. And when I hear this, I'm not gonna lie, it does sound pretty cool, but it is extremely unnecessary in my opinion, because that's doing too much for a gaming controller that could easily break. And can you imagine the cost that would be to implement that? Yeah, it would be cool for them to push the immersion when you're playing a game, but that's doing way too much in my opinion. Cool on paper, but they should not press forward for that one. Alright, our next set of news we have Capcom has added microtransactions to Resident Evil 4 Remake. The new exclusive upgrade ticket let players pay real money to upgrade their weapons quicker. Remember back in the day when games they had this kind of stuff and you actually had to put in the work to get better at it, to get all this stuff? Granted, I was previous Resident Evil games had microtransactions also, so this is not a surprise that this one having it, but it's just like why we're removing challenges from games. Of course, people will probably say, well, this is probably for the people that doesn't have time to play games. Then, of course, I can't say then don't play the game. That would not be right for me to say. But still, it's like, don't make it easy. Like, don't make it easy. Like, dang. Alright. Our next news that I have, which will take up a large will be the ending portion of the news. It is, well, before we get to that one, PlayStation has announced the April PlayStation Plus game catalog. This month, you will get Kena Bridge of Spirits, PS4, PS5, Doom Eternal, PS4, PS5, Riders Republic, PS4, PS5, Wolfenstein The Old Blood, Wolfenstein 2 New Colossus, Slay the Spire, Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom, Evil Within, Bassmaster Fishing, Paradise Killer, Sackboy Big Adventure, and for the classic catalog, you get Doom, Doom 2, Doom 64, Doom 3, and Dishonored the Definitive Edition. And I think that's a pretty good lineup of games, especially if you have not played Kingdom Bridge of Spirits. I truly recommend it. It was my top favorite indie game for, I believe it came out 2021. So for 2021, that was my top favorite indie game I played for that year. Alright. Our next news we have is Ghostwire Tokyo Spider Thread update is now on PS5. The new features that you get is new Spider Thread game mode, navigate a 30-stage gauntlet selected from over 120 handcrafted levels, new locations to visit in Tokyo, including the local middle school area, extended cutscenes, new missions, new enemies including Invisible Silent Gaze and Elusive Retribution, new skills for Aikido, including Charge Rush and Devastating Counterattack, quality life improvements, new collectibles. So, if you have a reason to go back to play Ghostwire Tokyo, here's another reason for you to participate in it. And our last set of big news was this past week. PlayStation have shown off a Final Fantasy 16 focus state of play, which showed 25 minutes of new footage of them going over the gameplay, the combat environments, not really going into side quests in general, but showing off how the map, you explore the map, talk about the story, show off some icon battles, some boss fights, this, that, and third. Some people say it was a little bit too much, but for me, I want all that goodness. Like, it just makes it even more harder to wait till June 22nd. But thanks to the State of Play for doing its job, because reports came out that Final Fantasy 16 sales have skyrocketed so much. Even the collector's edition for the US is officially sold out on the Square Enix store. They might put some more later on this year, but as of right now, the US version is sold out. And I saw people say it was either number 1 or number 2 on Amazon pre-order list with the PS5 also. So, and it was also rated number 1 for Famitsu Most Wanted Game. It actually beat out Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I'm really hoping this game does well. What they show have really convinced people to give the game a try. For the people that was gonna get it, they said it wasn't really needed and stuff. It basically just convinced them even more to play the game, and the people that was on the fence, they were convinced to get the game. So we're almost exactly 2 months away from the game release, so we're almost there. We're almost there of the release, and I can't wait to play it. Now, on to our last bit of news of the night. This comes from the developers of Arcane, who is part of Bethesda and is under Microsoft Game Studios. They put out a tweet that shows what will Redfall be running on the Xbox consoles, and this received a whole lot of backlash for it. They have said Redfall is launching on Xbox consoles with quality mode only, So the Xbox Series X will run at 4K 30 FPS. Xbox Series S 1440p 30 FPS. And 60 FPS performance mode will be added via game update at a later date. And this was not received well in the gaming community, because we are on next gen hardware that is able to give us both 30 and 60 FPS. But the fact that a first party game that's exclusive to the Xbox, that's not coming on the Xbox One, have the Series X, which Microsoft has said is the strongest console, either the strongest console or the strongest Xbox console ever created, is stuck at 30 FPS. And some people will argue Redfall is not that graphic demanding game, so there should be no reason for it to be 30 FPS. So for somebody who's not in the Xbox ecosystem and looking at it from the outside perspective, me personally, this is an L on Arcane. There's could be numerous possibilities why this is. It could be like the developers didn't have time to properly optimize it. They ran into some trouble. It could be numerous reasons. What I believe is the true reason was, what was it? Me personally, I believe the true reason was, as soon as they said that whole, they were gonna release games in the next 12 months. That's when they shouldn't have never said that, because now they put their developers in a spot when in the middle of development they could potentially run into trouble, and which will derail the whole 12-month promise of them launching the game. That should never been said. That should never been promised. Another hand would be is what I am told that Bethesda have their own person watching over them, so Microsoft doesn't fully gets involved with the stuff goes on with them. But me personally, I think Microsoft needs to start doing that, because this is unacceptable, in my opinion. Like, this is unacceptable. Like, if the Xbox Series S was 1440p 30, then that's okay. But the fact that the premium console is stuck at 30 also, that's unacceptable. Like, and the thing is, my biggest gripe with it is this game was delayed almost a whole year. This game was delayed for almost a whole year. So what were they doing that they couldn't get this 60 FPS up to appropriate standards? Like, I'm literally confused about this, because it doesn't make no sense. And some people say this is just like the same situation that evolved with Halo Infinite, how it launched. People say it launched good, but 343 did not have the content. Without the content, the game cannot survive. So it's just crazy to think about, like, this happened, especially when it came to like a Microsoft first party game. But and another thing is, like, if they were confident in the release of the 60 FPS update, they would gave like a precise date when it's coming. The fact they said coming at a later date, they don't know how long it would take for them to get to 60 FPS. Because as of right now, the game is still being worked on. And it comes out in, 2 weeks? Probably less than that. But either way, it's just all bad all around. It just really looks bad on Microsoft's part because the fact that this is happening. So hopefully they could get that 60 FPS as soon as possible. And I did saw some people say that they should delay the game. I totally agree with the whole delaying it to the 60 FPS is ready. But the thing is though that if they were to delay it, people would believe they did it as a reaction of not being to the backlash. So, and at this point in time, it's a little bit too late for them to do a delay, to be honest, for the game. It's a little bit too late for that. Judging on the when the game is releasing, which is May 2nd, and we're not that far away from May. So, and of course people will probably say like they have no problem with the 30 FPS. That's perfectly fine. The problem is the fact that some people, me personally, is not the whole 30 FPS is the problem. For me, the fact that numerous trailers and videos about Redfall showing it at 60 FPS. But of course it now shows that those were run on PCs, which is pretty normal when it comes to people like previews for games to be on PC. But to me, it just gets on my nerves when influencers who get flown out to places to play the game and stuff, who get to play these games, and then they give the game high praises while like go into detail what they play. Of course, that could probably fall into they sign a DRM that they cannot say what they play and stuff. But I'm sorry, when it comes to when I hear an influencer go out to play these games, I'm hearing an influencer giving high praises to a game. I don't listen to him because I see it as Cyberpunk all over again. And we all remember how that turned out. So, when it comes to a game that I want to play, I'll make the risk of me buying that game and play it for myself. And that's how I'm gonna do it. Alright, well, that's all I have to say on the whole Redfall situation. Hopefully the game does well. Nobody don't want a game to fail, to be honest, unless you're a fanboy. But me personally, like, I'm hoping the game, it's just not a good look for this game, especially as a new IP, because first impressions is always important. And I kind of really feel bad with the idea that Microsoft and Bethesda probably sent this game off to die. Because Arcane are the ones who launched Deathloop, and that had a 60 FPS mode, all the different modes that you could mess with the resolution and performance. But the fact that Redfall does not have it, it's just like, what happened? Like, what the actual F happened? But yeah, that's all I have to say. I hope you guys enjoyed this news roundup. It was a pretty long one for the 2 weeks build up. I might do this again depending on the gaming news for this week. So until the next video, well, you guys have a good night and enjoy your weekend. Peace out.